In this video, we are going to discuss about the user-defined variables in JMeter. Okay, so in the previous video, I've already shown you this is the, you can say, the automation performance testing automation plan for the API, and you can say these are the requests here, 1, 2, 3, and 4 requests I have created for different type of API. And here I'm just for the timing, I'm keeping the user number of user one because my focus is on the topic of user defined variables. Okay, so I'm focusing on that, not I'm just increasing the number of user. Second thing I want to update here, if you have seen on my screen that in this video I'm using the white background for the JMeter, and the reason is that one of my subscriber has put the comment in the video that things are not visible properly when I'm using the black background. Okay, so this time I'm trying the white background. If any other subscriber face any type of problem, you can put me in the comment of the video, so that I will decide whether I will go with the I will continue with the white background or I will continue with the black background. Okay, now let's start the topic now. So here you can say that whenever we are just creating any type of request here, so in every type of request, you can see that I'm using few information, or you can say few data here. Like in every request, I'm using this one. I need to set the local host. Okay, then I need to set the port in my case, but in your case, you don't need to set the port, but definitely you are going to put your server IP or name here. And here you are able to see that this is my common path. This is my base path of my API. Like in every API, you can say that this is the base API and a base path of the API, and this is the things which is, you can say, other than the my base URL. Okay, so you can see that most of the places I'm using this URL here. So now the question is that suppose take the example in the real scenario, if I need to update the IP. So I have so how many places I need to go here? I have to update the API IP here, then I need to go in every place. I need to go and update the API here. So what we can do, instead of to get rid of this problem, we can do one thing. Instead of using these the values hard coded, I can create variables, user defined variables, and then we can use it anywhere. Okay, so how we can create it? For that purpose, we have two options. If you go to the test plan also, you will see that we have an option here, user defined variables. So here, whenever you are going to create variables, it will be accessible everywhere. Okay, at the plan level. Second thing is that you can see that whenever you go to the thread group, in thread group, you can add this component separately. You can go to the add, and in the add, you can say that we have a config element, and in the config element, you will able to see that we have a separate user defined variable option here. You can click on that. So when you click on that, you can see that you will get this option here. So now it means you have two places. You can do it with the, you can say at the test plan level, this section, or you can use this one. Okay, so you can use anyone. Okay, now here you can see that whenever you are using it here, so the thing is that you can use it at this level, or you can use it at the, you can say, any particular request level, sampler level. So the benefit is that whenever you want to use anything at a particular this sampler level or request level, you can define it within it. Okay, otherwise the option is that you can take it at the top of, so it will be accessible to you can say it will be accessible to the thread group level. Okay, but the thing is that if you want to use access it at the you can say whole thread group level, the best thing is that you can make it at the, you can say, test plan level. So now let me show you. I will go to the user defined variable. Both the things are same here now the case. So now here I can define few variables here. So for example, I'm using the, you can say, my server IP port. So I will do create a few variables, click on add, and now I can add variables name, like one is host. Okay, I'm creating one variable. Let me create another variable, host, then I can say port. Okay, so in this way, how many, whatever is needed, whatever variables you needed, you can do it. Okay, I can create a variable for this one, and this is the base path. So let me create a third variable here, base path or base URL, whatever you can say, that base URL. Okay, now you can put the values here. So you can say that in my case, local host, this is the local host for my server IP. In your case, you can use your own server name of IP here. Okay, now second is that in my case, the port is 8080, but you don't need this thing. Okay, because I'm using it on my local machine, so that I'm providing it. But in your case, instead of use, you can get the server name or IP variable here. Okay, now this is base URL. This variable name you can choose according to your requirement and according to your understanding what should be the name. Okay, so now in my base URL, let me go and let me copy this base path. Okay, now let me copy this base path here. So in this way you can create so many variables. Suppose take the example, you are using some user name, password, something like that, so you can create a variable in that case also, like user name also. And suppose take the example username, you can use it in my case, suppose take the example it's Pradeep. I'm not using it, but I'm just telling you that you can create any type of variable here. Password, password, or here you can say uh password, password 123. So it means here you can create any number of variables. And now after that, what you can do, you can here you can give the description, means what is the purpose of that variable, why you are creating it. And now the question is that we have defined the variables, now how we can use it in everywhere in my project. So simple, the thing is that if you want to use this variable, so what you can do here, you can go wherever you want to use this variable. This was the variable that is my host. Okay, so now let me go, and now here you want, instead of localhost, I want to use the variable. So syntax is that you have to write the dollar, and in the curly bracket, within the curly bracket, you have to write the this one. So this is the way to write it. Now here I want to write the port, so it means my variable port is this one. So I can go here and I can put the port number here, like you can say dollar and curly bracket. So only the rule is that whenever you are creating a variable, the way of using it dollar, and in the curly bracket you can use. And here I need to use the base path. So now let me copy the base URL here, copy, and now let me go to the here, dollar and curly bracket, and let me put it here. Okay, now this is the base URL. So now what is the benefit here? So every place you can see, you can use these variables. And now let me copy this one. So I will go to the every request, and instead of that, I will use this one. So this part you can say I need, this is the base URL, and then /4 is here. Okay, now let me go here, and here I need to use the complete base URL, this one. And now it will go to the update. Again, I need to update this part. This part is only the, you can say, base URL, and rest /4 is there. Okay, so I updated it. Same way I can use it my host name everywhere. So this is my host variable. Every place I will do the same thing, host and host here. So you can say now the third thing is, in my case this is applicable only, like I'm using a port also. So port variable, I'm using it here. Now let me copy it here. Now let me go to the every request. In case of port, I'm going to do it. So whatever I'm saying, that is applicable everywhere. Means if you want to use any protocol, like you want to use this protocol, and sometime it is HTTP, sometime it is HTTPS. So every time you don't need to come here change it. You can create a variable at this level as protocol. Okay, and whenever you are going to, suppose, let me create that one also. So here you can say protocol. Okay, you have created a variable protocol. And now whenever you want to make it HTTPS, you can make it HTTPS here. And whenever you want the value, like you can say HTTP, you can update here, and you can use this variable. So actually you can say whenever you want to change this value before your run, you have to come this place. This is a single point of, you can say, modification. Okay, now let me go here. So I need to change the, you can say, port also here. So now you can say that I've just updated here. Now every place you can say that I'm using the host, port, every variable I'm using. And now these variables are controlled by the, you can say, okay, this place I'm not using the port, so let me add the port here also. So this is using everything variable, you can say that variable. And now let me save it. And now let me do one thing, let me run it. So again, I'm showing you that it is working fine or not. So I will show you the table view, as well as I will show you that tree view. Again, I'm saying that my focus is that how to use the defined user defined variables. That's why I've taken only the one user. If you want to run it with multiple, you can run it with multiples. Okay, now let me click on that, and now let me run it. So when I'm running it, you can see that you are getting the problem here, and the problem is that the problem is not in my, you can say, automation. The problem is that I have not run my, I'm using my local API and my local API is not up and running. So I need to run my local API. For that purpose, let me start the NetBeans. But this is good thing, you can say, which come into the, you can say, while session. Reason is that till that I'm starting, let me show you that whenever you are running it, you can say that you are getting this type of problem, like you can say uh, HTTP connection host exception, like something like that, and the person is, and in no HTTP response means connect to the local host field. It means it is not able to connect to this particular local host and portal. And what was the reason was that my server, you can say server, it can happen in your case also. We suppose, take the example, you are running the automation and you are getting this type of problem. It means same message you are getting, you can say connect to localhost field. It means the server is maybe down here. So I will do one thing. In my case, I know that this is down. So let me come to this point, and now let me, this is my API, so I'm running it. So let me right click on that and let me make the deploy. Okay, so now it is deploying here, so it will be up and running same time, because my APIs are using the, you can say, database also, and that is not up and running, so I need to up the database also. Okay, that is my environment that I'm using at my local end. Okay, so that I can give you the demo on that. So I have started the MySQL also. Great. Okay, now you can see that my server is running here. You can say it is run and deploy. So once it will be up and running, okay, I can access my API here, because these are running. You can see that these are API running on my local machine. Okay, I'm waiting for that, and then I will come to here and I will run it. So yeah, that is good thing happen between the session, like whenever your server is down, means if you are trying to access or trying to hit the request on a server, it can be, you can say, web application server, it can be API server, and it is down, you will get to know that this type of problem you will face in your JMeter here. Okay, now I think it is up and running. Yeah, it is up and running. So let me clear the logs here and let me run it again. So let me clear this one here, clear all, and now let me run it again. So this time when I'm running, you can see that it is running fine. That's why it is showing the green results, and let me click on that. So you can say that when I will show you this thing, you can say sample result is 200. Okay, request part, you can say request, it is creating the request. So you can say that this URL, it is getting the URL in every type of request. You can say that this is URL /4. This is the required URL. Okay, this is the URL you are getting the it means you can getting the URL here, and everything what you have done, you have configured it one place. So this is the advantage of that. Other than that, you can do other things also. For example, you can say that in my create student, what I'm going to do here, I'm using a hard coded request here, like student age is this one. If you want to make it parameterized, like you want to pass the parameter before running it, what you can do, you can create few variables here. So this time I will do one thing. I will create a variable, you can say at my you can say this create student level. So I can create here, right click, and I can say the config element, I can create a user variable here, and here it is also your variable. So let me you can say that, let me give a specific name, create student, state student variables. Okay, so now let me save it, and now what is the benefit is these variables are only accessible for this create student. So this is the benefit. So let me go there, and I'm going to create you can say variable. So how many test data I need age, name, and subject. Okay, so I can create it here. So yeah, so let me name. Okay, let me put, oh sorry, name, age, and let me write subject. So you can, for your test data also, if you want to run your test case with single set of data, you can create the variable here. So now let me create some data here. So by default it is, you can say, let me give any name. Let's make automation easy is the name here. Okay, and now let me age is, let me make 50 years and subject, let me write JMeter. So I want to use this data in my, you can say, in my automation as a test data. So this is the name of name, age, and subject. So we are going to use this variable. So copy this one, and now you can see copy this one. And now let me go to the request part, and here instead of this dollar, you have to write uh, dollar curly bracket, and I'm going to use this one, right? In the same way, I'm going to use the man here. So let me write the Let me write the dollar here. Where is that? Okay, let me write the dollar and let me write the curly bracket here, and here I have to, oh sorry, it should be the name, it should be the age, and here I need to variable name I need to write, that is uh, dollar and curly bracket, and I write to what was the name of my variable. Name of the variable was subject, so let me copy it here. Now let me go to here and now let me put it here. Okay, and now let me run it here. So let me run it and see what will happen. So now let me clear the all the logs here, and now let me run it. So now I'm learning it, and here I will show you one thing, very important thing. Okay, maybe you have not focused on that, but I will show you. Intentionally, I've done this one here. You can say this is running fine, but let me go to the create student. Here you can say that I'm getting the 50. Let's make automation. I'm getting the JMeter here. So I'm getting it. How I'm getting here? Because you can say that 50. Let's make automation JMeter. It is picking the data from here, and you can see the response also. This you can say record is created here. Okay, if this record is created here, and if you want to see that, yeah, really this record is already you can say work there. So I can do one thing. I can use this thing 1472 ID on my automation as well as I can check in on my I can check it here also. So let me see that if we have, maybe I have data script also. Does it show? I don't have. Okay, file recent. Okay, this is the URL. We have a URL document also. Now I can show you, this is my get started by ID, so I can show you that this record is really created or not. Definitely it is created here, but let me show you from here also. I can do one thing. I can you can say I can open this browser also, and in the browser let me add this one. And what was the ID? I think it was 1472. So let me go 1472. So here you can say, if you check the details, yeah, ID 50, let's make automation. So this API is actually deployed on my local machine. That's why I can show you everything here. Okay, so it means it is working fine. So what is the advantage here? Next time, suppose you want to run your automation, so you don't need to you don't need to come to the request. You will simply come to your you can say variable here, and here you can change the data here. For example, I can say Pradeep. Here I can say, okay, I'm going to make my age 39. I will make a confusion here, and the JMeter, let me make it funny, JMeter G. Okay, so this is my, you can subject here, and now let me save here, and I can run the whole automation. Okay, let me run the whole automation, and let me come here. Let me clear all the things here, and now let me run it here. So when I run here, I can directly show to here also. Like this time, you can say it is created 1473. If if you see the request 39, Pradeep and JMeter G. Okay, and this is what is the ID is created. ID is created 1473. You can check it here also. You can check it here 1473 also. Okay, so I hope you got it, that whenever you want to use any data that is hard coded, so instead of using the hard coded data, you can create the variables. You can create the variable at, you can say that at the plan level. You can create at the group level, and if you want, you can create at the, you can say particular sampler or request level also. It depends on you, that how you want to use it. Okay, so I hope you got it, that how you can use the user variable. If you have any type of question, you can put me in the comment of this video, and in the next session I'm going to tell you how you can use the dynamic test data. You can get the dynamic test data, like how you can pick the data from the any CSV or Excel file, because here you can say that we are getting the data, but still my data is hard coded in a, you can say, user defined variable. Here I'm using the hard coded data, so I will pull the data from the Excel, something like that, or CSV file, and we'll utilize it here. So okay, so we'll meet in the next video. Thank you, have a nice day.